Preferred stock. So you've learned a little bit about common stock. Now let's talk about preferred stock. How is it different, and is it different? Well, it is different in a couple of different ways. First of all, in finance, we consider preferred stock to be somewhat of a hybrid security, meaning that it is similar to bonds in some respects and similar to common stocks in other respects. Preferred stock is similar to bonds in that a firm will pay constant dividends to preferred shareholders, much like a firm would pay constant coupon payments to bondholders. They're kind of promised, steady, unchanging over time, so very similar to coupon payments with bonds. A par value is used to calculate dividend payments with preferred stock. We use par value with bonds. We can also use a par value with preferred stock. The par value we typically use with preferred stock is $100 versus the par used with bonds is $1,000. So that's how it's similar to bonds. Preferred stock is similar to common stock in that it represents ownership. So a preferred shareholder is certainly an owner in a firm, and there is no promised selling price. There's no guaranteed sale price for an investor at some point in the future, so very much like common stock in that respect. A couple of other pieces with preferred stock. Number one, there is what we call a cumulative feature with preferred stock, meaning that a firm must pay dividends to preferred shareholders before they can pay dividends to common shareholders. So dividends have to be paid first to the preferred shareholders before they can be paid to the common shareholders. Also, with preferred stock, there are no voting rights to the owners of the stock. So that is one aspect that preferred stock is different than common stock. Why does an investor buy preferred stock? Well, being that they get no voting rights, well, they get the constant dividend payments, which is attractive to some investors. Remember back in taxes, who buys preferred stock? Typically the institutional investor. A corporation buys preferred stock from another corporation. They don't care about voting rights. They only care about the dividend payments as an income stream because they are going to get them 70% tax-free. So just a side note. So how do we value a preferred stock? We're going to use the equation that's really based on the perpetuity model. Remember when we studied time value of money in your notes, you probably jotted down something about the perpetuity model. Here it is at the top of your slide. The value of a perpetuity, the present value that is the payment that's essentially supposed to continue forever divided by the interest rate. Well, the value of a preferred stock is essentially the same thing. The present value, or the price, the P sub P of the preferred stock, is going to be equal to D sub P, the dividend of the preferred stock. Dividends of preferred stock are constant. They don't change. They remain the same over time, divided by the R sub P, which is the required rate of return for the preferred stock. So let's put this to use with a sample problem here. Ross Incorporated issued a perpetual preferred stock with a 10% annual dividend. The stock currently yields 8% and its par value is $100. What's the value of this preferred stock? Well, a couple of things first. Sometimes when we read problems regarding preferred stock, they might say perpetual preferred stock, just kind of reminding you that the dividends are perpetual. They stay the same. And oftentimes dividends with preferred stock are listed as a percentage dividend, and that percentage is calculated based on par. And par for preferred stock can often be $100, but not always. Some of your problems in your textbook may vary. If it's going to be something other than $100, I'll make sure to give you that on a quiz or exam. So what's the value of this preferred stock? Let's put it together. So your D sub P, your dividend of the preferred, your numerator in the equation is going to be $10. It's basically just 10% times 100. And the R sub P, the return, your denominator, is the 8%. This stock currently yields 8%, so it's 0.08. Divide 10 by 0.08 and you get $125. And that is the intrinsic value of this preferred stock. And here's another sample problem on preferred stock. Vandelay Industries Incorporated has preferred stock outstanding that's selling for $60 a share and pays a dividend of $5 at the end of each year. What is the rate of return for this stock? So here we're switching it up, flipping the equation around, and we're solving for R sub P, the return. Notice that we're using P sub P, which is often the intrinsic value. In this case, we're going to just assume it's the selling price in the equation that we're using, because you're being asked to find the rate of return for this stock. It's not including verbiage that says required rate of return, etc. So R sub P, the return, is equal to the dividend, D sub P, divided by the B sub P, or the price of preferred. So the dividend's $5, the stock is selling for $60, and the return for this preferred stock, when you put that together, is 8.33%. And that's it on preferred stock valuation. Fairly straightforward. Let me know if you have any questions.